January 26, 1969, you're born into a family of 9 in Kirkland, Washington. Your dad is a former football player and bodybuilder. You are inspired by Arnold and Bruce Lee. At 8, you start wrestling, martial arts, powerlifting, and bodybuilding. At 15, you enter a bodybuilding show and win. You're also an all-state defensive tackle, and your team wins 2 back-to-back championships.
We're just the rebels.
Simple as that?
Simple as that.
You realize you're not like the other kids. You're much bigger and stronger. At 20, you land a role as Thor in American Gladiator. At 26, you had won 4 powerlifting championships, squatting and deadlifting 600 plus pounds and benching 450 pounds. At 29, you had won the Mr. Natural Universe bodybuilding show, not once, but 4 times. You're also great at judo, taekwondo, and karate. Over the years, you're featured in 500 plus magazine covers and modeled for several romance novels. It seems like there's nothing you can't do, making amazing strides past your 30s, 40s, and into your 50s. Over time, you keep gaining muscle, definition, and strength while advocating for natural body beauty.
I know at 20 you want the title. I know you want that, and that means everything to you, that 20-year-old. But if you could be patient and take 10 years to put on the muscle, and take 10 years to just do this process, you'll still get there, and you'll be able to keep it.
You are Michael Hearn. Mike keeps no secrets. He explains 2 things that's helped him in his journey: hard work and dieting. Mike is a perfect example of someone who has great genetics and put in the work for over decades. So why is Mike so hated in the fitness industry? Why are the biggest figure in the industry skeptical of Mike's achievement?
Of course he's not natural! Does anyone still think he's natural?
Maybe Mike's story is too good to be true. Maybe it's all a lie to sell supplements, diets, and training plans.
This is fucking Mike O'Hearn guy. It's like, oh, I eat duck eggs and I'm just like more jacked and shredded than most of the guys that are like fucking competing professionally.
The fucked up thing though is when he sells it too.
Yeah, it's so ridiculous.
It's like you need $1,800 per like box of duck eggs.
Maybe training hard and dieting isn't all that Mike did.
Who believes this man doesn't take steroids? Show yourself. Type in the comments right now if you think Mike O'Hearn is natural. I want to see your face.
And I'm not gonna waste your guys' time. What's the fucking point? This guy's not natty. Like, come on.
If you blindly listen to him, firstly, you would believe that he has a naturally attainable physique, be feasting on $700 duck eggs each night, taking handfuls of supplements with your breakfast, and frogging your way down the street to get your groceries. I would rather take a knee to the gut from Natalia than listen to this man preaching about his self-importance in the fitness industry.
Here are the 3 most valid criticisms about Mike across the fitness space. Mike doesn't seem to be a reliable source. Mike seems to not hold popular proven opinion. The general consensus in the fitness space is the rampant use of PEDs and steroids. However, Mike seems to think the exact opposite.
Do you think it's a rampant, the steroid use in Hollywood? Because you've done various films, projects. Do you think it's rampant, or do you think it's not?
I don't think it is.
No?
No. I think because we're in the health and fitness world, we think everything is.
Mike's been the same for years. Mike has an incredible career, training for 40 years and maintaining an incredible physique over those years. The older a bodybuilder gets, it becomes difficult to maintain your peak physique. So how is Mike able to preserve his physique even into his 50s? Mike is too big for an open classic physique show. This was a point brought up by Greg Doucette, and I think it's the best one by far.
He's so jacked, if he was natural, he'd be too big to even compete in natural men's physique. Classic physique, I mean. So he's, in other words, bigger than Chris Bumstead. Are you kidding me?
Mike at 53 can't step into an open classic physique show to compete because he's too big for his height. If you're not familiar with what an open classic physique show is, it's a bodybuilding show where competitors are allowed to use steroids and PEDs to be competitive. A show with competitors like these. This makes it impossible to believe that Mike has been completely transparent in his story. We're convinced that there are things missing in Mike's story, but how does the story really go? Here's my speculation on how Mike's story goes. Mike was a genetic phenom as a kid. He won a bodybuilding show at 14, beating out 19-year-olds. Like most child prodigies in the space, Mike began taking PEDs to be even more competitive. With this, he was able to rise to the top and was advised not to talk about his use to keep his image and career. However, unlike other bodybuilders who shied away from talking about PEDs and steroids in the 80s and 90s, Mike took a stand against them and was very vocal about it while being a user himself. As time goes by, it's becoming harder for Mike to convince the public about being drug-free his whole life. So how does this story end? I believe that there are three possible outcomes: the worst, best, and most likely scenario. Worst case, Mike keeps kicking the can down the road and becoming less and less believable. This will hurt his brand and, most importantly, his achievements. Talk less of the toll of keeping up the facade. Best case, Mike comes out about his PED use and maybe provides insight on his longevity in the space. Mike has been bodybuilding for 40 plus years. Most likely case, since Mike is getting old, most people will understand and support him when he starts incorporating anti-aging procedures. This will give him an excuse to maintain or slightly regress his physique without heavy criticism. I think this is the most likely outcome because he's already doing that in his videos. One thing about Mike is that he accomplished a lot and continues to break boundaries as he ages. If you made it this far into the video, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button and subscribe for more videos like this one. Also check out the description and support the channel by checking out the link, donating, or requesting an episode. I appreciate the support. I will see you in the next one.